coming. My name is Ron Frater. I'm with Darlington Heights Fire Department. This evolution here is going to be our live fire evolution. What's going to happen when you guys come over here, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the basics of fire behavior, give you an understanding of what we're dealing with. We're going to go through that a little bit. We're going to also reference a recent NIOSH report from the Homewood Fire Department, referencing firefighter Brian Carey. It was a fatality. We're going to reference the timeline from that report, kind of tie it in with the topics of the fire behavior that we're talking about here. We'll be in there, so you're going to be well cared for. What's then going to happen is we're going to darken the room down. We're going to increase the smoke conditions. We're going to take away your visibility, and then you're going to give you a thermal imaging camera, let you pass around all that, show you the effects and the benefit that's allowed us inside the fire. After we get done with that, we're going to do a little ventilation, show you the importance of the ventilation with the fire and how that helps us in controlling the fire and moving the attack line. If anyone wants to, we're going to have a hose line in there that if you want to work the hose line and squirt some water on the fire, let us know before we go in and we'll allow time for that. Once we go through the ventilation, we'll open the building up. Anybody into their SCBA, make sure you're comfortable with that. And we're going to bring you inside the building. We got some benches set up inside. We're going to have you sit down on the benches. There'll be a little fire going at that time. We're going to make sure everybody's comfortable. Your wrangler will be sitting right there with you. What we're going to do is we're going to let the fire build up, kind of let you guys see what we talk about outside, get to witness it inside the building. We're going to have a hose line in there. If anyone wants to work the hose line, let us know before we go in. We'll make time for you to go ahead and you can use the hose line, squirt some water on the fire, see the effects that it has on the fire inside the building. After that, we'll get everybody back on their benches, make sure everybody's comfortable again, and then we're going to darken the room down. We're going to take away your visibility, and what we'll do then is we're going to give you thermal imaging cameras, which is a tool that we use on the fire ground, which allows us to see and maneuver through buildings in those kinds of conditions. After everyone's gotten a chance to do that, we're going to do what we call ventilation. We're going to open a hatch on the roof so you can see the effects of the ventilation on the interior conditions. After that, we'll open the building up entirely. We'll bring everybody out. If there's any questions or comments, we'll field those at that time. All right, so pretty straightforward, not real labor intensive. Again, just kind of give you appreciation into the world we work in, the things you're doing in the other stations that we got to do in these conditions. So that's the gist of it. I've got a whole host of other people here helping. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Mark Piscatella, Arlington Heights Fire Department.
Matt Yeager, Arlington Heights Fire.
Wayne Wood, Arlington Heights.
Special Parker, Arlington Heights. Adam Rajowski, Displays.
Headley Displays. Dan Hauser Displays.
Brian Canary, Displays.
Steve Barron Displays. Kevin Murphy Displays. Scott Corona Displays.
Brad Lindgren, Arlington Heights.
Dave Roberts, Arlington Heights.
All right, so you guys are going to handle that side of your
Yeah.
There you go.
Gloves, unfortunately, were designed for
Let's hope not. Wouldn't hurt
Can you take it
him.
out? I would not. Usually what we end up doing is just go ahead and putting it on here for the time being. Yeah. The mask, the bag keeps the mask protected 3 years. Getting out here.
And I've
If you're actually on the way to the fire, you can go and take it out. Put it out here.
Wranglers, if you caught as soon as you guys are set, if you could let me know, and then we'll get started.
go there. He's a good guy.
Yeah, quarter turn.
We'll wait till Ron tells us. You want us to mask up now?
We got a couple more.
It's kind of ready to go.
That's fine. I got your helmet right here.
The air pack's going to get a little heavy, so I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. Go ahead. Okay. Starting kind of from the ground up, folks, what happens is when the fire starts, it's going to progress through 4 stages. We'll start scenarios. You have 40 minutes. That's fine. Our fire's going to progress through 4 stages. It's going to start off what we call an incipient phase, a small fire. It's going to progress through 2 more stages. Again, I'm going to try and keep this short since we got deer pads on. Our goal is to get in and take control of the situation before it gets to what we call a fully developed phase. Fully developed phase is where the building is entirely in fire. Everything inside the building's on fire. There's no chance of survivability, no chance of property conservation. So our goal is to get in there and stop that from happening. Some of the keys that need to happen with that is we have to get a hose line in right away, put water on the fire, coordinate that with ventilation. What the ventilation does is it releases the heat and the smoke out of the building, improves our visibility, allows us to get in, make a quick attack with the hose line, put the fire out. Sooner we put the fire out, the sooner everything else gets better for us and for the victims inside. Okay? Things that are affecting the fire behavior in the building, which we're not going to see today, is a change in the building construction. Newer homes have what we call lightweight construction. That construction, once it's exposed to fire, will collapse within 6 to 8 minutes. Studies have shown. So again, the importance of us getting on the scene quickly and gaining control. Along with that is the furnishings that are inside homes today. With the furnishings that we have in our homes today, it's a lot of plastics that increases what we call the fuel load. What the plastics do is they make the fires burn faster, they make them burn hotter, and that fully developed stage that we talked about, that occurs faster on the fire ground. So it makes our job more difficult. Again, the importance to gain control of the building right away, getting the ventilation and the hose line in place. All came in at 20:55 in the evening. First companies were on scene 4 minutes later at 20:59. They made an attack inside, trying to perform a search because they had a report of a victim inside and getting a hose line in place to gain control of the fire. In that 4-minute time frame, from the time it was dispatched to the time the crews got on scene, it was a 900 square foot home, relatively small home, not much bigger, about the size of the containers that we're dealing with here. In that 4-minute time frame, from the first unit getting on scene, they had fire fully involved in the back addition and garage of the house. Fire crews made an attack through the front of the house. They had smoke down about waist high, eventually came down to the floor. Again, we're going to talk about inside. In 10 minutes, from the time they made entry, 10 minutes later, the building flashed. Brian Carey was found 12 feet from the front door. Firefighter Carol Kopis, who was his partner, they found her 4 feet from the door. Her gear was melted to the carpet. It's how quickly the conditions change, and again, the importance that we gain control of the environment with an attack line and ventilation as soon as possible.
Anybody that's less comfortable in here or think they're going to be less comfortable, try and sit closer to the door. We're going to have to squeeze in. We got a lot of people here. There's benches to sit down.
I'll be in charge of the door, so if you guys need to get out.
Oh, you'll be fine, Robin.
Good? Yes, sir. Like this? Are we down? I'm sorry. Fully on there. Does that feel comfortable to you? Put your helmet on. Doing all right?
Take your time.
inside. All right.
Go ahead and take them in.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and bring them in. Wranglers, if there's not enough seating space, we'll either stand you in doorways or between the benches.
Did you get that, Ron?
No,
10 minutes in this?
10? So we got a half hour still.
We got a half hour.
Live burn copy.
No, we got a little more. Come on in, grab your seat here on the right. Wranglers, make sure you mind those pass alarms. Please.
Yep. As soon as you take that first breath, that's the pressure part. As soon as you know it. If we were to pop this off to you without you pushing this button, it would start blowing because it thinks you got to leave their with you. All right, ready? Yeah.
Okay, Ron. We'll be right by the door if you guys need anything. I got the camera.
How's he like it? It's gonna be nice.
All right, folks, are you ready? All right. All right, everybody, what you can see going on right here?
In there is they open up the hatches on the roof. That lets the smoke up the top. See how he's opening them? Yes. And it opens.
Roof hatch open. Open. They are open? Yes.
Like the roller coaster, yeah. It's like
Next guy.
There is a thermal imaging camera on every piece of fire apparatus, reserve and front line, including the ship commander's car.
Can you get it?
Yeah.
Nice job.
We also take the thermal imager and we scan the room to see where victims are because we're not always going to have the luxury of a clear room like this. That truck company isn't, they might run into obstacles and they might not be able to open that roof right away. Okay, you get a little hotter? Okay, let's open that nozzle. Get it right to the so it's down over your arm. Let's open it up to the vest so it's not funny like that. So you want to feel it in a clockwise motion like this. Now hit the fire. Now hit the fire a little bit. Up to the ceiling. Pull that ceiling down. Make sure the fire is going up and fast. Alright, let's go. Right here. Alright, I do train here a lot. I'm comfortable in this situation here. Yeah, that's right. Alright, we'll walk out this way. If you stand up or if you're comfortable, you'll feel a little uncomfortable here. Clockwise circle, back to the fire.
Nice job.
Out of the ceiling, go ceiling now.